I didn't even realize she had a name until the waitress burst out laughing and said, "Your girlfriend is very popular tonight." This was when my chest hollowed out. Not in the sense that he was cheating, but I realized it was because I'd been standing beside a man who loved being wanted more than he loved being mine. I'm 34. I am a project manager for a construction company in Denver. I met Aaron 8 years ago, back when we were still impressed by small things: rent cheap enough to live somewhere nice, dinners cooked at home, weekends that didn't have to be documented. We were in a relationship for nearly 7 years. Long enough to build routines. For long enough for silence to start to be the norm. The distance didn't arrive loudly. It snuck in through his phone. He wasn't hiding it. That was the strange part. Notifications lighting up during dinner. Buzzing DMs as we watched movies. He'd smile at the screen and look over at me like I was disturbing something significant. "Work?" I'd ask. "Just people," he'd say. "Networking." Networking became his favorite word. He reached for it to justify late nights, impromptu gym obsessions, and an Instagram account that more resembled a portfolio as meal ticket than the thirst trap of strangers. He didn't flirt with me watching. He performed. Every compliment fed him. With each laugh from another woman, he grew a foot. And I shrunk, without myself knowing. The night everything fell apart was meant to be a celebration. His promotion. A trendy rooftop bar downtown. Warm lights. Music that's loud enough to keep conversation consistently surface. He insisted on inviting work associates I'd never met. I remained at his side as though I were an overcoat he'd left behind. That's when I noticed her, leaning in too close. Her arm touching his when she laughed. Videoing him on a phone camera while he pretended not to notice. I waited. I always waited. Finally, as I leaned over and murmured, "Hey," his partner, she simply blinked in surprise before giving me a tight smile. "Oh," she said. He never mentioned that. Aaron didn't correct her. Then, in the drink line, I whispered to him, "Why didn't you say something?" He sighed, annoyed. I didn't think it mattered. That sentence changed what was possible for me. On the way home, the lights of the city smeared through the windshield. I finally asked the question I'd been dodging for months. "Are you faithful to me?" He didn't answer right away. He drummed his fingers on the wheel. "I don't sleep with them," he eventually offered. That wasn't my question. He pulled into our driveway and shut off the engine. The silence was surgical. "I enjoy the attention," he said. "It makes me feel alive." "And me?" I asked. "How do I make you feel?" He stared at me as if he was doing math that didn't want to have an ending. "Safe," he said. "Stable." That's when I knew. I wasn't loved. I was useful. The clash occurred 2 days later, after I had watched a video that was posted online. Aaron, still on that rooftop with his arm around the bar woman, comments blowing up. Fire emojis. Heart eyes. One person wrote, "You two are both gorgeous together." I showed him the screen. "This is humiliating," I said. He barely glanced at it. "You're overreacting. People think you're single." He shrugged. "I never said I wasn't." Something in me snapped. Only it didn't scream. It went quiet. "Did you ever love me?" I asked. He exhaled, frustrated. "I'm too tired for this." "Answer the question." Jaimo leaned back against the counter, arms crossed, his eyes on a faraway spot. "You were convenient," he said. "You knew how to fit into my life." There it was. Cold. Clean. Final. I didn't cry right away. I went numb. I had sat on the floor of our bathroom that night we remodeled it, staring at the tiles we chose together, and I knew that my identity was built on being chosen by someone who loved being admired by all else. For weeks, I attempted to heal myself rather than accepting the reality before me. I dressed differently, spoke less, smiled more. I kept thinking that if I became lighter, easier, and quieter, he'd notice me at last. He didn't. The turning point wasn't dramatic. It was a Tuesday. His phone buzzed on the couch, and I was folding laundry. I wish I could have taken a picture from 30 feet away. His face just jumped. Not with joy, with hunger. And I was thinking, I don't want to fight for a partner's attention with strangers. That night, I stopped begging. I didn't threaten. I didn't cry. I don't know who I am anymore, was all I said. He nodded, distracted. You'll be fine. 3 weeks later, I moved out. Into a tiny flat with uneven floors and too much light. The quiet there was honest. It did not tell me to go away. Aaron didn't chase me. He sent a few texts, liked a photo that I posted months after. I heard through the grapevine, friends of friends, he was still popular. Still charming. Still alone. Healing wasn't cinematic. Some mornings I missed him. There were some nights I missed the notion of him. But eventually, something steadier took the place of the ache. Self-respect. Being loved, I learned, isn't loud. It doesn't need an audience. Doesn't make you feel like an audition for your own relationship. If someone needs the world to validate them all day long, they will always be coming to you to take pieces of you to do that. And no matter how much you donate, it won't be enough. So if you're hearing this and you feel invisible to the one who's supposed to see you better than anyone else, pay attention. Love should feel like home. This is not one of those stages you fear, falling off.